Welcome to Northwest Bruin Football Show. I'm the head coach, Josh Robinson, and this is offensive coordinator, Chad Fisher. This past Friday, we took on the Southeast Raiders, and it was a very good night for the Bruins. A lot of good things went on. We were able to honor Coach Wheeler, a previous head coach that had won a couple of region championships, by honoring him with the naming of the weight room for him going forward. In honor of those back-to-back region champs, we also had those teams come back and were able to see several of those guys. So it was a really good night off the field, and ended up with a good night on the field as well.
Yeah,
Coach.
Absolutely. It's anytime you can recognize former staff, faculty, players, anything that has to do with Northwest and the success they've had. I think that's really a great night. It was a perfect night for especially getting a win and able to get people involved. And anytime, like I said, you can honor those people, that's awesome.
Even the weather was great.
Even the weather was great. Yes, absolutely.
So it was the whole show. We hope we have several of those left for the rest of the year. But on the night, we put up some really good offensive stats. We really had a short field a lot of times. I believe we ended up with 3 takeaways on the night. 4, 3 interceptions and a fumble recovery. But regardless, our offense was still operated at a high efficiency, which we like. I will say that we had too many penalties for sure that could have shot us in the foot, but we were able to overcome them. But that's something we definitely have to fix going forward. But Owen Brooker on the night was 18 for 22 throwing the ball with 242 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, Owen's done really well. He had a really good game. I thought he had a good week of practice. Coming off of the Heritage game, that really propelled him to go forward. So, played well, executed the throws, executed the offense, and did what we asked him to do. So, a really good night for Owen. And
then James Mosteller got to play. He was 3 of 5 in the game, doing a good job coming in for us. I'll mention this. I'm so very proud of our young guys and our JV guys and guys that don't get a lot of playing time. We're able to come in and do that. That's really important. Our scout team plays a vital role in our success, and it's a tough job. It's not easy to go out there and take a beating from the offense or defense, or in a lot of cases both, because our guys have to go both ways on scout teams, some of them. And so to see those guys come in, it makes me proud, makes me happy, because we definitely want to play everybody. I know everybody wants to score. I know everybody wants to play every play, but the reality is we have to play who appears to be the best player, and sometimes that means some guys don't get a lot of playing time. So it was really nice to see those guys come in. Adrian Reyes was 6 for 42 on the night with 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, Adrian didn't get a lot of touches, but he's been kind of our workhorse the last few weeks, and has done really well. Really running hard, really doing a good job, and really proud of the way he played Friday night. 3 scores is that's a big number. That's a big time.
3 out of 6, so let him carry the ball 20 times and we'll score 10 times.
If we can keep that ratio up, that'd be awesome.
Micah Mohan on the night was 8 for 54 coming in the second half, doing a good job for us.
Yeah, Micah's done a really good job. He's one of those kids that has not had a lot of playing time on Friday night. He's had a very good, very successful year with JV, and had the opportunity to get some runs on Friday night and some touches, which was really good and awesome to see.
Micah's really burst on the scene to really be considered for a lot of playing time next year. He's put in a lot of work this season to kind of catch our attention. And then we had several other guys carry the ball. I guess the only other varsity ones were Jackson, Owen Brooker had a couple of carries each. And moving forward, Jackson's probably going to have to play a little bit with Chase Gentry possibly being out, unfortunately.
A couple injuries.
Yeah, we hope he's not hurt long term, but we'll have to see how he responds at practice this coming week. Receiving, Matthew Redmond had 3 catches for 88 yards and a touchdown with a long of a 59-yard catch.
Yeah, Matthew had a really nice catch on that first drive, I believe it was. Nice throw, nice catch. He made someone miss, had a great block downfield. So, Matthew, Mr. Consistency, has continued to play above and beyond and continue doing what he's doing.
Ray Morrison on the night had 5 catches for 55 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, another nice night for Ray. Doing really well, starting to figure it out a little bit, starting to practice well. Has been a really deep ball threat for us. So really proud of what he did.
Braden Morrison came on, and he's getting to play more, and Preston and Neely going both ways, and came on, played as many snaps as anyone, and ended up with 3 catches for 28 yards.
Yeah, all 3 of those guys. Braden Johnson's another one. All 3 of those guys had 3 receptions, and I think that says dividends. Says kudos to Owen. We're able to spread the ball around and get it to people when they come open. So proud of those guys. You know, we had multiple guys with multiple catches, so that's big time for us offensively. That's big time for us as we move forward into these next 2 weeks.
Correct. You mentioned Braden Johnson. He had 3 catches for 19 yards, and then Mr. Consistent Preston Neely had 3 catches for 25. Who's doing a really good job for us on defense as well. Chase Gentry had a catch for 18 yards, really looked good, and turned his ankle and missed the rest of the game. So we're hoping that he recovers there.
Yeah, we'll find out more, I think, today or later on in the week.
That's right. And then Adrian Reyes, he also had a catch for around 10 yards.
Yes.
Overall, it was a very solid night for us. Matthew Redmond averaged 37 yards punting, so it was a good night for him as well on the limited punts that he had. But still a good night for the Bruins. At this time, let's take a look at the first half highlights. Here we are taking the field, Jaden Santiago doing his little flip, and makes it. I'm sure that was on purpose. That wasn't on accident.
Yes, sure.
But we end up kicking the ball off to start with, and Yahir Zapata gets a good deep kick to the 3. We'd like for it to be a little bit more to the numbers. Good hustle by Tucker Johnson, got a breakdown to make the tackle, but still, I believe Keaton McQuaig and Braxton Floyd in on the tackle, which is good. Sophomore contributing. Here they run the buck sweep. Jax Brooker, I believe Matthew Redmond's in there, Jake Fawcett. I saw a D lineman, but I didn't see who on it. And then they fumbled the ball, and here Jackson Holt, our sophomore, playing on his second varsity play of the year, recovers the fumble.
There we go. We're going to give it to Adrian. Here's one of Adrian's 3 scores. Nice ball switch while he's running, and nice little touchdown. Good blocking downfield.
Snap by Jake Fawcett, hold by Matthew Redmond, and the kick by Yahir Zapata. Really good job of starting the game up just a minute and a half in, up 7-0. Southeast comes in on offense again, trying to mow us off the ball. We get a little high at some spots, but Jax Brooker and Jake Fawcett end up making some tackles. Same thing here. Our guys getting in on it. I saw Matthew Redmond there late. Our sophomores have to get down low, but there some good scrapes by our linebackers. I thought Jake and Jaden and Jax, all from the inside linebacker spot, probably had their most solid, complete game between the 3 of them on the night, especially scraping and moving. Here, Matthew Redmond's returning the kick, gets up to close to the 30-yard line.
Yes, good return. Good setup here. We're going to throw a little quick screen out there to Ray. Nice blocking downfield, just get upfield in and run, and that's a big gain. That's a 13, 14-yard gain right there. Nice job blocking downfield, guys. Here's our throw to Matthew on the out route. Nice little block. I think Ray's the one that does a little slip block right there, and Matthew does the rest. Good job, good throw, good catch. Had a way to take the 2-score lead right there.
Yes, and our center's supposed to go out for a pass there, but he didn't. So Matthew finds a way to get in the end zone. To move the score to 15-0, only 5 minutes into the game. Here they are running the buck sweep. Jaden does a good job of going downhill. Probably needs to scrape a little wider there, but still does a good job of getting in on the tackle with, again, Jax Brooker. There's our inside linebackers finding a way to kind of run through some contact and make a tackle and move around. That's going to be important. Ridgeland has some big guys, so we're going to have to kind of move around some blocks. There is our defensive lineman. I believe that was Dawson Wheeler, I think, making the tackle. And here, a good job by Dominique hitting them and making them turn the ball over, and Keaton comes up with the tackle. Good job by Keaton getting the ball back for the Bruins.
Here's a nice little stretch play. Nice block downfield by Ray, by Matthew, and I think, I don't know who the other one was, maybe Hayden out there. Nice job blocking that way to get the ball down the field. Little throw and catch to Braden Morrison. Nice job getting upfield, getting us close to a first down.
We have multiple receivers getting a lot of touches. Not a lot of people do that. Here's Chase Gentry making a nice move, and then he kind of gets his ankle rolled up on right there by number 10 and bent backwards. So again, we're hoping he's okay.
Good trap
come back and run the ball. Yes, trap by Stark there, and a good run by Adrian Reyes. Good job by all our linemen: Dayton Cowart, Harrison Cocker, Jacob Harden, and Austin Duncan, all getting in for us. Again, snap hold is good and kick by Yahir Zapata to make it 22. Throwing the halfback pass, good job by Dominique running. Needs to get his head back around the other way a little quicker, but still a good job of staying disciplined. There we got some good fits on the night. I believe that was Damon Banta coming and filling. Tip up by Preston Neely, and we get a block here. Matthew's got to find a way to get in the end zone, but still a good job by him returning the interception down to the 10-yard line.
Yeah, nice little run. Jax Brooker coming in there, getting a quick run in there, getting us close to the goal line. Then we're going to come back here in trips, and we're going to set it up and run a delay slant out the back door, and nice throw, nice catch.
Good job by Owen and protection by our offensive line. And again, we add the extra point real early in the second. We're up 29-0. Here they run the quarterback sweep, and again, they had some success out of it. We're a little slow we did a good job at linebacker all night, but we were a little slow going on the quarterback sweep. Something that maybe we haven't practiced enough. It's kind of difficult to do that, but we still have to do a better job on it. There they're rolling out, and they get a kick with a big bounce, and Matthew decides to return it. And I kind of think if he cuts back to the field here, he could have a chance if he gets through number 9, but a good return for us back to the 45.
There's a nice little throw. Here's Braden Morrison again on another catch. Getting upfield and following the convoy of guys blocking. Nice job, guys, getting down the field. Here's Preston Neely on the same play out of a different formation. We're just executing our offense, throwing the ball, playing, throwing, catch, and just moving the football down the field. We're going to run it again up top. Nice block by Matthew. Nice block. Looks like Braden out there blocking. Braden Johnson on the catch.
Get down inside the 20-yard line.
Here we go. Here's Reyes. Nice catch. Nice little peel back by Preston. So we're getting close. We got an opportunity to try to punch it in again. Nice little trap block by Coward, and we get another touchdown and pad our lead a little bit.
Get another a good job by our guys there. Another hold kick by Yahir Zapata, and we go up 36-0. They come back on offense, and I believe this is a series they end up scoring. Again, we can't have the breakdowns like we had, but our guys are being physical, trying to stop them. They ended up scoring to make it 36-7.
And there's a little jet sweep to Ray. Nice little. That's a tricky play, the way we catch it and pitch it back to him, because if we drop it, it becomes an incomplete pass, which is good. But this is a nice little offensive set for us. Here's empty. We got a nice little block by Matthew, getting downfield by Preston Neely, and then we're going to come back and run it again to Ray. Then we get upfield, and nice little Preston returning the favor and blocking. So is that Preston or Braden Morrison? It's one of them. It's hard to tell the numbers.
they all are built the same, so I understand. There's a throw to Matthew Redmond, and I'm thankful he didn't kind of turn his knee there.
Yeah,
it looked a little dangerous, but big play. We end up getting a penalty, and then Ray Morrison's able to get past everyone and catch the ball. He's got to pull that ball in and go ahead and secure it, but still a good catch and a very good throw.
It's a nice little throw right behind the DB's ear.
Yes, to put us up 43-7. We kick off back to them. 23 did a good job for Southeast on the night. A good job by our coverage team. Great job by Ike Ralston and Damon Banta getting in on the tackle. At this point, we started subbing a little bit. Michael Mohan's in there. We talked about him earlier, getting some experience, which is good. Good solo tackle by one of our D linemen there. There's Jackson Holt, and the linebacker getting in on some action to try and stop the Raiders from scoring and moving the ball. Here they run the midline. Great job by Jaden Santiago, very good scrape. That's kind of a tough play out of the 3-4. Here Tucker Johnson doing a wonderful job getting the quarterback pressure. Matthew Redmond comes through with a long return, and there unfortunately Tucker hit somebody in the back, and they weren't looking, which makes it illegal. But a good return for us to get back, and we want to try, we're up significantly here, and we're not trying to those are kids on the other sideline too, and we don't want to embarrass anybody, but we need to work on trying to get down and kick it.
This was a good 2-minute drill that we worked on. That we work every Thursday, and this was just trying to, we wanted to get in position to kick a field goal and work our 2-minute offense, which worked out really well.
That's right, and we end up getting down with about 30 seconds on, and still ran our field goal team out to kick it and end the half up Northwest 46, Southeast 7. At this time, let's take a look at our corporate sponsors. Welcome back to the Northwest Bruin Football Show. Friday was a good night on defense as well. We had one major play that we broke down on with our older guys, and we didn't fit right. We had a couple of guys get pinned inside and a couple of guys run outside that we didn't create our wall in the long run. But regardless, most of their success were on quarterback sneaks, which is something we've got to get better at. We're missing our starting nose, who's going to be gone for a couple weeks. But no excuses. We've got to do a little bit better job against quarterback sneaks and things of those nature. On the night, we had a lot of stats spread out. There wasn't really anybody, because of the limited playing time for everyone. There really wasn't any one person that had just a ton of tackles. But Jackson Holt is a sophomore who came in with 2 tackles, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. And then there was Dayton Cowart, who's
Dayton Cowart's been has played really well. He struggled really early on, having to get used to go both ways, and now that he's got in really good shape, he had 3 tackles, a couple tackles for loss, a forced fumble.
Dayton's, he makes a lot of plays for us. He's kind of lost a little bit of the technique things that we want him to do, so hopefully that comes back around when he sees film during the week and kind of sees there were a couple more opportunities. He could get more plays doing what we want him
absolutely.
to. But we had other linemen coach.
Yeah, Dawson Wheeler, another one. He played a lot. Had a really good night. Had 3 tackles. Had 1 tackle for loss.
Dawson's been in and out of offense and defense. He's kind of that sophomore that's been a swing guy for us that gets to play a lot. He and Gian Gomez and Jackson Holt are all sophomores who got to play a fair amount. And Gian had 3 tackles as well. So those guys kind of combined and accomplished. Had a fairly good night for a sophomore group. We definitely got to have them grow up with Junior being out.
You had a couple other D linemen that played really well between Reyes, De La Paz, Javin Nicholson, C.J. Caudill, and Gavin Smith and Zaire Bradley. They all contributed and had multiple tackles. All those guys played really well.
They did, and it's really good to see those guys play and get in on some time. And Connor Hayes is another one that you didn't mention, who he does a great job for us during the week. And we're glad to be able to get those guys some reps on Friday.
Our linebacker core, they've been very consistent all year, and they've started to get better as the weeks have dwindled down as we get towards the end of the season, hopefully the playoffs. But Damon Banta, Jake Fawcett, both those guys have been playing really well.
Damon had 5 tackles and a couple of tackles for a loss, and Jake 5 tackles as well. Fortunately for our top 4 or 5 guys, they only played 20 plays or so it's really good. Right. Jaden Santiago came on with 10 tackles in like 19 plays.
Played really well. He didn't struggle at the beginning of the year, but he was in the mix, but not in the mix per se. And now the last 3 or 4 weeks, he's played really well, played really good football.
He's played his best football. He's really pushed Jake to get better, and it's been a whole group. Those guys all play about the same number of plays these days at inside linebacker, and they're playing a little at outside linebacker. They're just doing a good job for us, and Jax Brooker had 7 tackles. So our inside linebackers had a really good night. And then we had multiple outside linebackers. We had Connor Cummings, Hayden Maynard, Tucker Johnson, and Ike Ralston all come in and do some really good things for us. So it was a good mixture, and really the majority of those guys are varsity guys that got tackled. So we're going to continue to rotate people and try to find the best player on a particular night to help replace Jordan.
Yeah, absolutely. Secondary played really well. 3 interceptions, I believe, for our secondary. Matthew Redmond had 2 of them.
Yes, Matthew, we talk about him every week one way or another. He contributes to Northwest football on offense, defense, and special teams every week, and we're very proud of his play.
Yeah. Keaton McQuaig had the 3rd one, had a couple of tackles also.
Yes, Keaton's he's getting healthier. He's starting to be more knowledgeable. As long as he goes out there and does his job, doesn't worry about bantering back and forth with the other team, he's really a solid player for us.
Absolutely. Dominique, sophomore.
Yes.
Getting a lot of playing time, has struggled at times, not because of lack of ability, but just lack of experience.
That's right.
And thought he played really well Friday night.
He's a kid in middle school and rec league that I've watched for years that played in the line of scrimmage. And now he's starting at corner for us and really a backup running back, but I'm trying to limit what he does there. I know that makes you real happy.
Sure, absolutely.
Because I want him to be comfortable on the defensive side. We're a little thin over there, but he's doing a good job. And then Preston Neely came on and had had a good night as well.
Yeah, Preston's stepping into it.
That's right. 2 tackles and a pass breakup. He's done a great job for us coming over from the offensive side. Really, his freshman sophomore year, he really didn't touch the field on defense. We started playing him there a little last year, and he's really caught on. So overall, it was a good night. We got some other guys in there, Braxton Floyd, Jackson Weaver, and some of our other sophomores that came in and contributed.
Sure.
So it was a good night overall. At this time, let's take a look at the second half highlights. Here we are starting the second half on offense with our young guys.
You know, there's Mohan right there with a nice little run, a nice little trap play. James Mosteller at quarterback, so we're trying to get some young guys in there and get them some reps.
I believe we end up turning the ball over on downs. We're running the midline here. We got some people flying around. I see Ike Ralston, Micah Mohan, and then the D lineman. Unfortunately, I missed who it was. I believe that's Gian Gomez. Yes, it is. They end up scoring there towards the end of the third quarter as it's a running clock with our young guys in. And good return by Reese Cowell right here.
I want to throw it up in there.
He does a good job. Reese is going to be a good football player for us as long as he continues to work and do the things he needs. And running the trap right there, Coach.
Absolutely. Is that Mohan again? It's hard to tell from that's nice little jet action. My eyes are pitiful. So here he is again on another trap play, or nice handoff by Mostetler. So, you know, getting some reps, getting some carries. We've got Braxton Floyd in motion, and then we're going to give it off to Micah again. Yeah.
Yes. Braxton Floyd in motion there. James Mosteller handing the ball off, and they're running the zone. Almost had a mesh problem there,
right.
But Mohan ends up again. That young offensive line doing a good job for us. I see Wheeler in there, Silas Herod, Jackson Greason, Riley Bonanno, and Carson Hendricks.
Absolutely. It's always good to get these guys some reps. Jace Talley's out there. So, you know, anytime you get an opportunity to get these young kids some reps on Friday night, that's going to pay dividends down the line.
Good job by Ike Ralston on the play. Another good job. There's Will Roper making a big tackle, really coming downhill after his position change, really starting to learn and hopefully get in the mix for next year. And they run the quarterback boot. Good tackle. Who is that? I think it was
Floyd.
I think it was Braxton Floyd. I can't swear to it. Will Roper here on another tackle, and then they're running the quarterback sweep for about the 10th time in the game. And I'm sorry, the quarterback sneak. We make him fumble, and it bounces right back to him. Braxton Floyd almost had it. There is Will Roper again, and our D lineman doing a good job coming in and getting a stop. And they get down the goal line late and fumble, and we almost had the ball. There's Will Roper. And I believe C.J. Caudill on the tackle. They end up scoring on as time expires to make the score 46-20. At this time, let's take a look at our corporate sponsors.
And now it is our distinct pleasure to introduce you to the 8 young ladies chosen by the senior class to represent them as their 2020 Homecoming Queen candidates. Bruin Nation, please welcome your first Homecoming Queen candidate, senior Miss Abby Adams. Our next senior class Homecoming Queen candidate is Miss Taylor Brown. Our next senior class representative is Miss Emily Gates. At this time, please welcome your next Homecoming Queen candidate, Miss Hallie Goebel. Miss Audrey Grace Holder is our next homecoming queen candidate. Please welcome Audrey Grace. Our next senior candidate is Miss Abby Horn. Please welcome our next senior class representative, Miss Iris Ann Putnam. Our final homecoming queen candidate representing this year's senior class is Miss Daisy Vega. We are proud to present your 2020 homecoming queen, Miss Daisy Vega.
Welcome back to the Northwest Bruin Football Show. I'm the head coach, Josh Robinson. This is Chad Fisher still. You know, there's a lot to talk about in a short amount of time here as we draw the show to a conclusion. But congratulations to our homecoming queen, Daisy Vega. I know that's a big night, but not just for her. You know, congratulations a lot to her, but at the same time, there are a lot of girls out there in all grades, and you know, it's really special to be recognized by your peers. And even if you didn't win, all that kind of stuff, you know, it is a testament to their character and their personality to be elected to that. So that was great. This past week, our volleyball, you know, congratulations to those girls. What a
great
what,
to see.
what
That's a great run.
Yes, absolutely. To go in the state championship,
Absolutely.
and they faced a, you know,
well, yeah, especially when they 2020 we know has been absolutely crazy.
Yes.
With whether it's sports, whatever's going on, and for them to be limited at the beginning of the year, practice, playing, things like that, just like with football and other sports, and for them to accomplish to get to the state championship game, that's awesome. That's absolutely fantastic.
Yes, and they lost to Marist, who,
yes.
you know, because it's during football, I don't get to watch a ton of volleyball, but they look like they had several Division I type girls out there.
And we've got we have some that are graduating.
That's right.
And then we have a good nucleus that's coming back also.
That's right.
Awesome.
So those seniors will be missed, but at the same time, those underclassmen will be back, and that junior group I know has some really talented girls, and our underclassmen will have to go in and help perform and hopefully carry them back there. Also this week we have our band who is performing in a band concert type deal that's going to be on the field on Thursday night, so we encourage everyone to come out there. And then of course we have our last home game of the year, and thankfully a back-to-back home game in which we play Ridgeland, which has huge implications on the playoffs, seeding, even making the playoffs. They're very, very talented. Their record does not indicate how talented they are. They're losing a lot of games closely, and then things kind of fall apart for them in the fourth quarter. This past week they played Pickens and had the lead most of the game and then lost it late. So we're certainly in for a fight, and I hope that we can come out on top. I hope everyone comes out and support our Bruins. Until next week, this is Chad Fisher and Josh Robinson.